At this time, I will call to order our regular meeting of the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Here.
Freeholder Granados.
Here.
Freeholder Hudak.
Present.
Freeholder Palmieri Mudet.
Here.
Freeholder Staten.
Here.
Freeholder Williams.
Here.
Vice Chairman Mirabella.
Present.
Chair Kowalski.
Here.
Chair, you have 9 freeholders present.
Thank you. Would you please read or lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag?
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, Mr. Clerk, would you please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve communications?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Vice Chair Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Granados. Would you please call the roll?
Freeholder Estrada?
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson?
Yes.
Freeholder Granados?
Aye.
Freeholder Hudak?
Aye.
Freeholder Palmieri Mudet?
Aye.
Freeholder Staten?
Yes.
Freeholder Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Mirabella?
Aye.
And Chair Kowalski?
Yes.
Chair, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Now we have meeting minutes of the meetings of September 5th, 12th, and 26th. May I have a motion to approve the minutes? Moved by Vice Chair. Second, please.
Second.
Seconded by Freeholder Hudak. Clerk, please call the roll.
Freeholder Estrada?
Abstain on September the 5th and yes to the rest.
Freeholder Garrettson?
Yes to items 1 and 2, abstain on 3 and 4.
Freeholder Granados?
Aye at all.
Freeholder Hudak?
Aye to all.
Freeholder Palmieri Mudet?
Aye to all.
Freeholder Staten?
Yes to 1 and 2, abstain from 3 and 4, please.
Freeholder Williams?
Aye to all.
Vice Chairman Mirabella?
Aye to all.
And Chair Kowalski?
Yes.
Chair, you have 8 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention for the meeting minutes of September 5th agenda setting session. Or 9 votes in the affirmative for the meeting minutes of the September 12th regular meeting. And then 7 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions for the meeting minutes of September 26th regular meeting
Thank you.
and agenda meeting as a double.
The meeting is open to the public for the purpose of commenting on resolutions being offered for adoption only. If you wish to speak, kindly state your name and town of residence and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chair Kowalski, Bruce Patterson, Garwood. On page 5 near the top, 2019-879, looks like you're renting 30 parking spots, and for the year it's going to be $27,000 for those 30 parking spots. To me, that's definitely a wow number. I'm just wondering who negotiated that. I looked on the map. It's just an old house with a big parking lot out back. Something tells me there's something wrong with this number and whoever negotiated it. One thing is, I would assume it's 440 Parker Road, which is like 2 buildings down, which the Human Services Division is in. So, I would assume there's a lot of spots that are needed. But one thing, in that 40 Parker Road is also a limousine service. It looks like Mega something or other, limousine service. Now, they have probably about 5 to 8 cars. So my question is, they're using the spots at our Union County property, and yet now we gotta rent spots 2 buildings down for all this money? I think if anything, you better talk to Mega Limousine, or whatever the name is, and get them to foot the bill for some of these spots. It's pathetic. Number 881 on this same page. I'm just wondering, you know, we receive this money, and it is some pass through to the other towns for the UASI grant. I'm just wondering, how much are we keeping on this? Number 884, it's just a SSH, Social Services for the Homeless grant. Just an overview of what that's about. 886, I see you're giving $23,000 to O'Brien and Colano for the crisis intervention for enforcement and health personnel. You did ask a question about this. That's great. And Colano, I do recognize that name as being an ex-prosecutor. But I'm just wondering, what kind of experience do these guys have? I don't think they really have any experience. So somebody could explain how they came about with this contract. On page 5, well, number 894, you're giving CME Associates $167,000 to, I guess, develop a master plan of the open space and parks. And just want to point out that they had donated $106,000 to the freeholders and the cronies 32 in the last 4 years, and 32,000 of that is actually to the freeholders direct. Collective bargaining, I'm not going to ask that. But I'll tell you, I'll ask you, out of all these modifications, I know a couple of months ago I asked, because of the state budget was on hold, if we were losing any money, and Director Taylor did come up and say we were losing something. Are we gaining that money back? Is this any of them? And 901 on page 6, and I have to comment about this one. This is a resolution reappointing Nicholas Fixmer to the Union County College Board of Trustees. And I know he's a good buddy of our county manager, Ed Oatman, and they both run Parktown Associates, which is a political consulting firm. And to tell you the truth, again, I don't see, I checked on Nicholas Fixmer. He doesn't have any experience. He has a lot of political experience, but he has no esteemed experience to be a trustee of the Union College board. So, you know, something tells me you guys better not reappoint him. He adds no value. Unless you want to make the college political, then I'm sure he fits the bill. But I suggest you vote no on that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Anderson, could you respond on 879 and on the homeless, social services for the homeless?
Sure. So the parking lease agreement, 50% is state reimbursed and 50% is from the county. The space pays for Department of Social Service, the Division of Social Services, and the 30 employees. The limousine service has no tie-in to us doing services to our residents, so it's totally separate. So it's 30 spaces. The other is the Homeless Trust Fund, which is a statute. It's passed by the state. We have to increase the dollars that will go into a set aside for the Code Blue Alert plans, and that's set forward from the state of New Jersey, so that we're just falling in line with what the state statute says.
Thank you. Director Taylor, if you could talk with us about 881 and 884 and 886. Oh, no, 886 is for Prosecutor Otola.
Through you, Madam Chair, I will defer to Director Moran on the purpose and how much is associated with the UASI funds for 881, on how much the county will retain. But with regard to number 884, the purpose for those funds are as follows: to assist homeless and at-risk families, individuals who are ineligible for Work First New Jersey funding.
Thank you.
And as far as the other Chapter 159s, none of those grants are associated with the funds that the governor held in the FY 19-20 budget.
Thank you. Director Moran?
Evening, Chair. As the board is well aware, UASI is a regional project. It's hard to break down those cost benefits to a local level, but this appropriation is only a portion of the $20 million that the region receives this year, and the approach is on a regional basis. So these will help the region prepare for, respond to, and recover from acts of terrorism.
Thank you. Prosecutor Rotolo?
We do hire a third party to run the program. It is run by, the company is O'Brien Colano, but the program is actually run by Maureen O'Brien. Maureen O'Brien is a retired assistant prosecutor from our office who spent a good portion of her career, her distinguished career with our office, as part of our mental health diversion program and Veterans Affairs. We were one of the first prosecutors' office in the state of New Jersey to have a veterans diversion program before it was state mandated. We were also one of the first prosecutors' office in the state of New Jersey to have a mental health diversion program before it was state mandated. And in fact, our programs, one of which was started by our current First Assistant, Doreen Yannick, who worked extensively with Maureen O'Brien during their career. We were the first prosecutor's office in the state to have a program specifically designed for people dealing with members of the population who have autism. That became the model statewide and has been used nationally as well. Maureen O'Brien has assembled a panel of educators to participate in this one-week training program. They include members of the Linden Police Department. The Linden Police Department, well, remember before I said there were 691 trained CIT members in the state of New Jersey since this program has been run since 2011. Of the 391 of that 691 that are Union County officials, over 80 of them are from the Linden Police Department. It is one of the most CIT specialized departments in the state and certainly in the county. Many of the members of the Linden Police Department participate in the training. Other participants from our most recent training that occurred, or actually not our most recent, this is from our June agenda, included members of Bridgeway, Trinitas Regional, Intensive Family Support Services, the Mental Health Association in New Jersey, Atlantic Health System, the Support Group Coordinator from Alzheimer's New Jersey, members of the Rutgers Psychiatric Rehabilitation Leadership Team, the Lions Veterans Affairs Hospital, as well as members of our Sheriff's Department who've been wonderful supporters of this program, members of other police department, as well as family members of individuals who have mental health issues, including family members of an individual who died in police custody, who come and talk to members of law enforcement and mental health providers about their personal experiences and how they've been touched by family members in crisis who've dealt with law enforcement who have not been specially trained in this area. So Maureen O'Brien is exceptionally qualified to run this program, and it has, again, served as a model statewide, and she's been doing it since 2011. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution, oh, excuse me, seeing no one else with comments, all right, I'll formally close this portion of the meeting. And may I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2019-868 through 2019-911? It's moved by Vice Chair Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Garrettson. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Freeholder Estrada?
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson?
Yes.
Freeholder Granados?
Aye.
Freeholder Hudak?
Aye.
Freeholder Palmieri Mudet?
Aye.
Freeholder Staton?
Yes.
Freeholder Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Mirabella?
Aye.
And Chair Kowalski.
Yes.
Chair, you have 9 votes in the affirmative on all resolutions.
Thank you. Now I'll open the meeting to the public for the purpose of commenting on any governmental issue that you feel may be of concern to the residents of the county. Once again, just kindly state your name and town of residence and stick to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chair Kowalski, Bruce Patterson of Garwood. Gee, I don't know, I guess it's just me tonight, but anyway. There's articles now in the media about Senator Scutari, and I'm sure you've read them. And it's coming out that Senator, and this is from the Suburban News, I guess, today. Report, Senator often a no-show at job. And it goes into particulars. And I did look at the documentation generated from Linden, and it mentions that, in 2018 alone, he missed 57 out of 111 court sessions. And right now, these are all allegations, and I guess either the state prosecutor or the federal prosecutor are taking a look in it. But in the meantime, this has given us a black eye here. And not only a black eye for Union County, but a black eye for our county Democrat Party, because he's the head of the Democrat Party. And me being a Democrat, I've talked about him often, what he's been doing. I mean, the issue here is, and I think you better get behind this and maybe even behind the door request him to step down from being a Democrat county chair. That would probably be helpful, at least make the Democrat Party look like we're okay, because all these articles are talking about he's the head of the Union County Democrat Committee. So makes us Democrats look bad in the public eye, and at the same time, I think you better maybe think about passing a resolution condemning Senator Scutari for missing all those court sessions. I mean, he could be up for some of the charges, just as a guess, maybe dereliction of duty, nonfeasance, I think that's what they call it, theft of services. I mean, I encountered him, and this is, some of you guys were here way back in 15, 20 years ago. I was here too. But I mean, he even lied. He lied to the public on that railroad that was being reactivated, where he says, "Oh, we're only doing, I guess, weeding or whatever it was." It turns out some big machines there, laying down track and such. So I mean, he's a shifty guy. I mean, in the primary recently, just because Freeholder Jala, a nice guy that was sitting up here, he backed Mayor Marr for the Democrat chair. All of a sudden, he doesn't get the line to run. So, I mean, Scutari he's a petty guy, possibly a criminal. I think we got major issues with this guy. If anything, you guys, who seem to have supported him.
Excuse me, Mr. Patterson.
Yes, go ahead.
Let's stick to factual comments and not go so far off into the personal vitriol.
I'm asking you guys to really talk to him. You back him up. Maybe it's time to have him step down. I know he's, he and our county manager are close buddies, and I had issues with that also, that, we should have a county manager from the county. But somehow, Mr. Oatman appeared, and we know how he appeared, and you know how he appeared. So at this point, I think you better think about removing Senator Scutari from the county Democrat committee.
Thank you. If you could stick with governmental rather than political commentary. I see what you're
in the United States. It's political commentary. Everywhere I look, it's political commentary. But this is serious matter now. Theft of services, grifting the poor Linden people, the taxpayers. That's not political commentary. This is a serious concern. And I think it's about time we bring integrity back into our government system, because I've been talking about that for a long time. I think it's about time you guys should start doing something about bringing integrity back into not only Dem Committee, but Union County government. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
Thank you very much.
Seeing no one, I'll close this portion of the meeting and move on to freeholder reports and comments. Freeholder Granados.
Thank you, Chair. The Freeholder Board is inviting all residents to participate in a new survey about the different needs of individuals and families living in Union County. The new needs assessment surveys will assist in planning service improvements ranging from recreation and the arts to education, housing, and healthcare. It is available online now through October 31st at the Union County Department of Services at ucnj.org/DHS/survey. You can participate by computer, your cell phone, laptops, or desktop, or you can also reach out to the Human Services Action Line at 908-558-2288. I want to give a shout out to Vicki Durbin and her entire staff for making sure that the Open Space Recreation Trust Fund continues to run smoothly and continues to work with all the different municipalities. Now, side note, so in the reference to the previous commentator, when it comes to County Manager Ed Oatman appearing, as you say, he did not appear. He went through an interview process, and County Manager Ed Oatman was the most qualified individual to take the post, and he's somebody who I strongly support along with other members of this Freeholder Board because he's been continuous in making sure that we build upon relationships when it comes to municipalities, when it comes to servicing our county government, and when it comes to putting the needs of residents first, not playing politics. When it comes to Senator Nick Scutari, like you previously stated at the very beginning of the comments, was allegations. So we're not here to comment on allegations. You know, there's a process that has to be done with every situation, but we're not going to be getting involved also in the political issues that are taking place in Linden because it's taking place on all different sides also when it comes to Linden politics. And Senator Scutari has been somebody who I know on the state level has been a champion of the residents of his district and continuous in making sure that we're working together when it comes to servicing all residents in the state of New Jersey. And in closing, I think that this Freeholder Board has tremendous dignity and tremendous about working when our county government needs are necessary and making sure that we're not playing politics when it comes to this Freeholder Board. We're playing, making sure that our residents come first and the needs of our residents come first. As you can see, when it comes to different resolutions, when it comes to different programming, when it comes to different funding, we're doing across this county. It's about making sure that we're working for residents of Union County, making sure that we all know and continue to know that we're servicing the residents and not playing politics. And that's something that this Freeholder Board does every single day, day in, day out. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Williams.
Thank you, Chair. I just have a couple of things. One is that the Freeholder Board, we will be officially opening the new turf fields at Cedarbrook Park in my hometown of Plainfield with a ribbon cutting this Sunday, and we're hopeful that the weather will cooperate, and the ribbon cutting will take place at 12:30. As a Plainfield resident, I'm really looking forward to this, as our county is growing, and it is time for us to make room for more residents of all ages to enjoy organized sports with the new striping of the fields for lacrosse and soccer and football. Over the past few years, as you've seen, we've been installing new turf at all of our existing fields across the county. These new surfaces eliminate concerns over field recovery after wet weather, which means that our athletes can play on these fields all year round. The new turf fields are an addition, a welcome addition to the Queen City, and we're looking forward to many years of use from these fields by our residents and also our visitors. So again, that is on Sunday, October 27th at 12:30 p.m. at Cedarbrook Park. I would also like to just say that we had a performance of a play, The Colored Museum, in commemoration of the 400 years that people of African descent have been here in North America, having been brought here as enslaved people in 1619. And the show was tremendous. We've gotten nothing but positive responses to it, and I want to thank my colleagues who came and all the public who came out for this wonderful evening. And again, I have to thank our county manager, Ed Oatman, and I would like to thank Vicki Durbin, for all of her assistance. It was a wonderful event, and we look forward to doing more of these kinds of events in the future. That's all from me. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Hudak?
Thank you, Chair. We have a last call for county residents who would like to apply for per diem work as emergency medical technicians through the Division of Emergency Medical Services open application process. There is one more open application date, which is scheduled for Saturday, October 26th at 9 a.m. Prospective candidates can submit their application and sit for a pre-employment evaluation, and all in the same visit. The event is by registration, and to register and get more details, please visit online at ucnj.org/EMS-APPS. I also wanted to express how good of a day Saturday was. Beautiful day for Red Ribbon Day at No Mohegan Park. It was a very good day for Union County families and law enforcement working together in partnership to make the county a better place and address substance abuse. And congratulations to Acting Prosecutor Rotolo, who was surprised with an award at the end of it, and a great job for her and her work in that field. Also, I had the privilege of joining the vice chairman at the Know Your Rights seminar, which was emceed by Freeholder Williams. I wanted to commend the staff. I'm forgetting Danny's last name. I don't know why. Danny Newberry, who runs the LGBTQ office. It was really an informative event, and I know many members of the community were there and learning about different issues that are impacting family planning with the LGBT community. It was a very good event. Lastly, I wanted to address the comments from Mr. Patterson, as this is the last meeting before election, so it's not surprising for a little bit of silly season. I think that the comments directed toward County Manager Oatman were completely out of bounds. He has done an excellent job managing Union County so far in his tenure, and I'm very confident in his leadership. And as to the comments directed towards Senator Scutari, I don't think Senator needs anyone from this board to get up and defend him. He has a long and distinguished public career, and again, as a Linden resident, I was offended of the report, mostly because it was a trumped up BS document, which was really a political hit job. And I'm offended as a resident that was thrown out there in that manner, and really just to embarrass the senator, a waste of the taxpayers' time. And I'm pretty sure the senator would agree that he welcomes the scrutiny, and I would welcome the scrutiny of the city of Linden to look into that sham. But it is a week and a half before the election, and you expect silliness to come out to try to get some media coverage to embarrass people. But since there is an election a week from Tuesday, I want to take the opportunity to wish our colleagues, Chair Kowalski, Freeholder Granados, and Freeholder Williams, the best of luck in the campaign. I don't think you really need it, but nonetheless, I think it's appropriate to do so. With that, Chair, thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Vice Chairman Mirabella?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to invite residents, families with special needs, particularly, to 3 events that are coming up. Tomorrow evening, there will be a Halloween bash for ages 16 and up at the Broadway Recreation Center. This includes a dance party, a haunted house, a costume contest, and more. Also in Broadway, the Sensory Friendly Theater series at the Performing Arts Center will feature Max and Ruby on November 10th, and the Nutcracker on November 24th. The county's Office for People with Disabilities and Special Needs has more information on inclusive recreation programming that serves the needs of residents and families. For more information, you can contact the office at 908-527-4807. So call that and participate in those events. They're terrific, and I hope people will take advantage of them. I've heard a lot of things over my years, and certainly nothing surprises me from Mr. Patterson. His hatred for this county and the Democratic Party,
And you.
is just beyond measurable at this point. And he's a critic on so many levels, but he's wrong on so many levels. Senator Scutari is admirable, capable, professional, distinguished public servant. I had the pleasure of serving with him as a freeholder before he joined the Senate, and he's done nothing but good things for this county, the city of Linden, and the state of New Jersey since he entered politics and was involved. The allegations, based on a disagreement with the mayor in that city, are just what they are, as allegations. And you can stand up on the rooftop and shout it, but that doesn't mean it's true. The county manager has done a terrific job, so any kind of way to kind of connect him to some improprieties, he's way out of bounds. He's an asset to this county, was and is the right choice to lead our county day-to-day operation. I'm proud of him and the work he's done since he started on day one as the county manager. Continuing on the comments from Freeholder Hudak, I do want to wish my colleagues, Chairwoman Kowalski, Freeholder Granados, and Freeholder Williams, particular credit to Freeholder Williams, who now ran 2 years in a row. And it's hard to run 1 year in a row. And I give the Freeholder a lot of credit. She worked hard last year to get elected for the unexpired term, and certainly for her full term. But these freeholders deserve to be reelected. They work hard, they're diligent, professional public servants, and I'm sure that they'll win. I congratulate them in advance. They will win. They'll be sitting up here next year. I look forward to working with them for the next 3 years. So good luck, and I'm sure we'll keep moving this county forward. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Freeholder Garrettson.
Sure. Good evening. I'd like to just share this evening about the Women of Excellence. The Union County Commission on the Status of Women is now accepting nominations for the 28th Annual Women of Excellence Awards. This award program is dedicated to raising awareness about the powerful impact that women have on the life in Union County. It is now more important than ever to recognize and affirm the contributions made by women who accomplish, inspire, and lead, as seen by the wonderful 5 freeholder women on this board. So we invite all women to be nominated for this, and we hope that we will have some submissions to online to ucnj.org/women-awards. I echo the sentiments of my colleagues and thank them for speaking up. That's my comments.
Thank you. Freeholder Palmieri-Noted.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to first thank all of the volunteers who worked at historic sites this weekend during our 4 Centuries in a Weekend event. It was a great success and brought people and continues to bring people from the county and outside of the county to Union County. So it's a great thing that we do every year, and I want to thank everyone who volunteered on that. The weekend of November 2nd and 3rd is our Gem Mineral and Jewelry Show at Trailside Nature Center in Mountainside. There's also children's activities that include fossil rubbings, puzzles, and a touch table. It's a free event, and it's an opportunity to go to Trailside and check out the sites there. Bring your children. While that is going on, there's also the annual Fall Troop Show at the Watchung Stable. And I'd also just like to say that tonight's meeting was very exciting for me to see all of our municipalities come to collect their checks. Thank you to Freeholder Granados for leading that. As a mom of young children in Union County, I know how important it is to have playable playgrounds for our kids to let out all of that energy. So it's so nice to see each of our communities moving forward with plans and revitalizing those areas, as well as what the Roselle mayor said about the senior population too. It's so important to have these places for all of us to go and to take a minute to relax and enjoy life around us. So it was just nice to be here tonight and see everyone excited for the future of their town. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Estrada?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I know I was very fortunate last meeting that Ed even had to pass over some of his extra time, so because I used it up. So whatever I didn't use the last time, I'm going to try to use it today. But let me start, since our board is always so diversified in terms of ideas and the way of expression, I want to take a moment to talk about Hong Kong. You know, it's amazing. I'm sure all my colleagues have been watching what's been going on in Hong Kong. As somebody who visited Hong Kong when it was a British colony, I can truly tell you that things are definitely changing. I must say that yesterday something changed in the process whereby the so-called mayor or the council of Hong Kong decided to pull the resolution that has caused the majority of the problems in Hong Kong, and the gentleman that was being incarcerated and considered to be sent to Peking, or whatever they call the capital of China, fortunately was released from jail. And it goes back to the point that I want to make here is that if we look at the reality of what took place, and not only the reality of China, but in the U.S., how corporations, the NBA, players played a role where money created a situation of self-censorship. And that is something that is really heartbreaking. Our country is founded on the ability for people to express their opinions, to be free, and at the same time we find ourselves that individuals, because of financial gain, changing their whole status. Look at the NBA, look at Nike. Unbelievable. Players were put into a position that it didn't have to take place, but unfortunately it does. So I hope that everybody has seen as to what our world is coming to in terms of finances and how financial situations keep a hold over people's minds and ability to express their opinions, which is so critical. As a person who lived under communism, I can tell you that it goes back to the Kurds. And I talk about Hong Kong and the Kurds most recently, that situations have taken place that have left me totally out. But let me just come back to Union County and the Board of Chosen Freeholders. When we talk about the issue that was brought up earlier from the floor about our Democratic Party, about our ability to express our opinions, the reality is that allegations are things that cannot necessarily be accepted as real. I mean, I read the article like anybody else. I read into the article, and I don't necessarily agree with the outcomes that was actually listed. I know my colleague, Senator Scutari, who ran with me 20 years ago and 17 years ago, and I know that, for example, and let me correct an issue, the only freeholder at the time of the train who was against the train and put out a letter to the effect was Nick Scutari. And I think you got the information there a little mixed up, because I remember very clearly at the time of that particular election when we were both running, and he basically did not stand for any of the trains. It was one of those first individuals who had an opinion different that indicated something else. And regardless of what I voted in years before, I truly believe that the county manager, Oatman, is doing the best job that has ever, and I'd stand here before and say that to you. I'm a very big critic, and I have a big mouth, and I recognize that. But in the same token, when credit is due, I'm the first one to stand up and say it. So I think that time will tell, and that's something that is in our side. We always have time and to get to the facts. So after saying all that, I hope you all enjoy the evening, and thank you for the extra time. We can talk about Hong Kong later.
Okay. Freeholder Staten.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, everyone. I would like to remind everyone that there will be a free forum on elder abuse prevention hosted by the Union County Prosecutor's Office and the Union County Human Relations Commission on Monday evening, October 28th, at the Union Township Public Library located at 1980 Morris Avenue, beginning at 6 p.m. The forum will feature a panel of experts who will help shine a light on an issue that all too often goes unreported. Many victims of elder abuse cannot speak up for themselves and as a result suffer in silence. Residents of all ages, caregivers, and local representatives of social service agencies and other organizations servicing seniors are encouraged to attend this important event. For those interested in attending, please know that free parking is available and the facility is wheelchair accessible. Pre-registration is requested but not required online at ucnj.org/UCHRC. And if you need additional information, please call the Office of the Prosecutor at 908-527-4621. I also would like to wish all the children of Union County to have a happy and safe Halloween, and to parents to always remember to check over our children and check the candy and keep the porches well lit. There are a lot of festivities and activities going on throughout Union County. I encourage everyone to check their local town's websites for the activities that's going on. It's been a long night. It's been a happy night. So with that being said, I'd like to say everyone drive safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. County Manager?
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank Freeholder Estrada for the kind words. It really does mean a lot. Thank you.
County Council?
No comments, Madam Chair, thank you.
Well, I have a couple items of good news. On Monday, October 14th, it was my pleasure, along with Freeholder Vice Chair Marabella and Freeholder Palmieri Muedad, to join Governor Phil Murphy in Westfield at the train station with a number of other officials, including many of our mayors, for the announcement that the one-seat ride on the Raritan Valley line will resume on November 4th. That means that commuters, of course, it's what we're getting is it's going to be in the off-peak hours, which is what we had starting from 2014, and it'll be some trains between the morning and then the evening rush hour, and then again in the evening. So that is a good start. We appreciate the governor's efforts and all of the riders and advocates who worked with us to keep on the pressure, and we thank New Jersey Transit. But we also would like to see full-time one-seat ride. But it's going to be a good thing for the residents of Plainfield, Fanwood, Westfield, Garwood, Cranford, Roseville Park, and Union Township. And one day we will get full-time one-seat ride. I am convinced. Also, we saw a little bit of Freeholder Estrada's wisdom tonight, and I'd like to just mention that several of us joined him at a Hispanic Heritage event sponsored by Assemblywoman Annette Quijano this past week, where Freeholder Estrada received a Lifetime Recognition Award for his service to the community, and I know his lifetime is not over yet. So there's time for more awards to come. But we are very pleased to be there for Freeholder Estrada, and it's a well-deserved award. I will add that I really enjoyed 4 Centuries as well. I think it was the busiest 4 Centuries celebration that we had, with the 3 dozen historic sites in Union County, reaching from the colonial period to the 20th century with Sperry Observatory and the Murray Hill Labs, A lot of people. At Deserted Village, we had about 800 people on Saturday. That was the nice day, but even on Sunday when it rained, there were many, many people visiting our sites. So that was a very enjoyable and educational day. And I would like to just add that I've said before that we have full confidence in County Manager Oatman, and I think that people who are not involved in government don't realize how demanding of a job this is, and how it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's nearly 24/7, and our county manager is always available when there's something to be done and takes care of things with grace and diligence. So I thank him for that. And of course, Senator Scutari, it's been said that it's allegations. I have nothing but admiration for Senator Scutari and the many years that he has devoted to public service, from I think we mentioned at a recent ceremony, from when he was very young, one of the youngest freeholders ever elected, I think, until you, Freeholder Granados. And has distinguished himself in the Senate, head of the Judiciary Committee, has accomplished many good things for not only for Linden and the 22nd Legislative District, but for our county. So I will thank you all for attending tonight, and wish my colleagues, Freeholders Granados and Williams, well, and remind everyone to vote on November 5th, and ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Vice Chairman and second by Freeholder Granados. Thank you, everyone.